September 8, 2023, I'm Brian, WNBA Lean Show. Exciting episode, we're back. Last night, NFL kicked off, got that pick right. Hopefully you saw my reel. If you did not see my reel, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can get more plays. I got a free play coming on Sunday in the NFL. Hopefully you're able to see that video and get on that game. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, I got 3 free plays. You want to subscribe so you can watch that video also. I'm going to talk about several college football games in another video. Now, we're going to go right into the WNBA here. Bear with me. I'm going to kind of go through this as I'm talking. I did go through it earlier. Just want to refresh my memory. I want to keep your mind straight on this. First of all, I changed locations. I'm in Illinois right now visiting my daughter, so I'm in a hotel room shooting this. Hope you don't mind there. Number one is that. Number two is I don't bet these games. These games don't have any of my money on them. I'm not betting them. Last night I had the Lions, plus actually I had 6.5, but they still covered the 4.5. They win that game outright. Beautiful thing. Okay, so I'm not betting these games. So if you don't like what I'm saying, toss it out. Let's go right through them. We got 5 games on the slate. Really big game for the WNBA. First thing, we got Fever versus Connecticut. Connecticut favored by 10 in this game. And I'll just be honest, let's just go straight up in this. First of all, Connecticut's 20-16 against the spread. Fever is hanging tough, 17-18 against the spread. If you've caught them right, you've caught them in good spots, able to cover spreads. I have not. I will tell you on this game, Indiana just got blown out. The Sun just blew out, I believe they just, who they beat? The Liberty? The Sparks. They lost to Liberty and they beat the Sparks by 14. They stay at home here. No venue change in this game. The last matchups, Connecticut has actually, it's about 5-5 last 10. I would side, if I'm looking for a bet in this game, which I'm not, but if I was, I would look to probably side with Connecticut. I do like the under a little bit in this game. Set at 159 right now. I'm looking at cover, so if my numbers are wrong, my numbers are wrong. But I'm just basing what I'm saying based on what I see in front of me here. I would probably lean under in this game, probably a little more than Connecticut. My totals have been kind of sketchy, kind of spotty. I'm not looking deep in these numbers. Just keep that in mind as we go forward. But I do sense that this game might go under. Okay, Atlanta Dream versus the Washington Mystics. Mystics right now favored by 4, total 162.5. Let me just look. I was looking earlier. Yeah, so Atlanta's won the last 2. Mystics are favored in this one by 4.5. Could it happen? Could the Mystics cover this spread? They could. I'll tell you what. I think we've talked about this before. Washington Mystics are 8-2 in the last 10 against the Atlanta Dream. But I somehow, when I look at this, they could cover the spread. The Mystics could cover the 4.5. Somehow, I feel like Atlanta might keep it close, though. Now, I don't know for sure. Obviously, I didn't look deep, but I'm probably going to side with Atlanta if I'm looking for a spot to bet in this game, because if you're looking at a bunch of games like I do every day, you're just looking at places, okay, where do I want to try to find a play? What makes sense based on what you know, okay? My knowledge is what it is. Yours is what it is. We all are limited in some way. We all have strengths in another way. So wherever your eye directs you, okay, let me try to justify this. If I can't justify it, don't go the other way. Just don't bet the game. So I would look to try to justify the Atlanta Dream in this game. Otherwise, I would not bet this game. Okay, moving on. Minnesota Lynx facing the Chicago Sky. Sky right now favored by 4. They're pretty big spread for the Sky. They haven't covered a whole lot as a favorite this year. As a matter of fact, I've been wrong on many of them. Both these teams are right about the same number, 21-16 against the spread for Minnesota. Chicago, 20-16. Somehow, though, I'm looking at this, and Minnesota beat them in August 8th, probably right around a month ago, actually, just a month ago. They beat them by 8 points in Chicago. But Chicago right now is at home again, favored by 4. And I somehow feel like Chicago might cover this 4-point spread. I was looking at it earlier, and I was like, that's interesting. I was thinking maybe this game would go under also. 163.5 is the total right now. I would probably try to justify the under. If I was going to bet it, I'm not, but I'm just telling you how I would look at this. I'd also look to try to justify the Sky. And even if you had to go a money line bet, which I'm not suggesting you do, especially in the WNBA, but I'm thinking the Sky might cover this spread. Sky obviously doesn't have as many wins as the Lynx, but as a matter of fact, let me just double check that real quick. I don't want to be shooting stuff out that's not right. Yeah, the Minnesota Lynx are squared up 50%, 19-19. Chicago 16-22. So, but they are favored by 4. I do sense Chicago might get the cover in this game. Again, look deeper before you make bets. I don't have any bets on this game. Moving on, Seattle Storm, Dallas Wings. Line set at 10, total at 167.5. I'll tell you what I saw earlier, okay? I just glanced at it because, like a big spread like that, when I see big spreads, I'm like, man, really don't like it. You know what I mean? Over under totals in these games. Seattle's gone 18 and 20 over to under. Dallas 23 and 15 over under. So here's what I tell you. I did look at this earlier, and I kind of saw a little bit over action, possibly, right? Over 167.5. That's a high total. Make sure you do your homework if you do go over the total or under the total. But I somehow felt like the total was more attractive in this game than the side on either one of these here. Both of these teams are kind of up and down lately. Dallas is win some, yeah, but they dropped a couple of games they shouldn't have dropped. Phoenix Mercury, LV Aces, last game on the slate. Phoenix catching 18. Total set at 165. Crazy game, right? It's like this. I can't convince you to not play the Las Vegas Aces, even though they've been faltering lately too. They go in Phoenix here, and it's just a huge spread. So last time Vegas beat them in Las Vegas by 16. Spread's up to 18. It makes sense. The spread definitely, the number makes sense. Are they going to cover it? I don't know. I'm going to leave that completely up to you. You decide what you want to do. I didn't see anything. When I see a spread this big, I just turn my head away. It's not a game I want to dig into, although I think the Aces are going to win the championship again this year. Either the Aces or the Liberty. Liberty playing strong lately. So good luck whatever you do. Subscribe to my channel. Appreciate you watching. Catch the college football video next.